Hey, I am going to try to do a better volume this time. Let's see if it works. If it's too over the top, maybe I'll have to start figuring out some different configurations, build some kind of a buoy mic or something. I don't know. Also updated so that this guy is not down here. So I'm more kind of in the middle here, which I think is kind of an area of the screen that doesn't have too much activity. So hopefully it doesn't get in the way of anybody's consoles. I noticed that when I was working with the console with some of the harder bits for me, I wasn't showing exactly what I was typing because it would the picture of me was on top. So I apologize. Oh, you know what? I'm probably using the wrong webcam. No, I am. I yeah yeah. So I'm using the right webcam. Okay. Welcome. Really excited to get rolling again with another stream. I figured I would do a few things today involving DisplayDat and trying to make it so it's easier for people to get into this application and start making new features. And also template out the personal display settings so people can get started with that a little quicker too. So let's get rolling. Let's see. Okay, so our console here, and we'll put that over here, and we'll put this one over here, and we'll close this. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and a browser. We need a browser, of course. I'll do that from here. So let's take a look at the application as it stands. Jump into my environment. And yeah. Python dashboard. No, no, no. Brain's a little flustered today. Python, Python dashboard. Boom, it starts up. Let's give it a tick. See how she looks. Yeah, okay, so it's kind of where we left off. I cleaned up a little bit from the previous episode. Today I'm going to try to make building widgets a little easier and create some kind of base design setup that can kind of be independent of itself and load stuff in a nice way. And yeah, let's see how it goes. I have absolutely no idea how this is really going to play out, but I'm going to give my best. So we have our main base HTML. I haven't broken it out into multiple templates. Haven't seen a need for that yet, so I'm just going to leave it simple here. And hey, we got someone on here. Ooh, blah, blah. Hi, great to have you. Okay, so yeah, let's take a look at the widgets as they stand now and figure out what to do with them. So I have an example widget here, and yeah, so it's really simple here. We have the basic class which defines its width and height that we've done, and I called it a block, which contains some kind of default stuff for us. But what I'd like to do is make it so that someone can create a style sheet and actually have it work just for this block of content, and not for everything. That's something that'll be somewhere else. And what we're going to do is probably do some kind of unique identifier and then we'll make the style sheet in here, maybe. I don't know, something like that, maybe. And then by doing that, we're able to kind of set the style sheet's ID value for this particular widget. So it basically it would make something like this. So it'd give it an ID, and it'd say HTML widget, and some kind of a number, something like that, or a number letter combination that's unique just for this page load, and then it would load that style sheet accordingly in here. Another way to do it is that we just do that this widget has this style, and that might be our easiest way first. You know, maybe we'll just stick with that to keep it simple for everybody, and for me, and let's see how it goes. So yeah, let's do some kind of a namespace. We'll call it widget, and then the widget name HTML, right? That would be the name of this widget here. And then for the style sheet, basically we just do something like this. Style, and then widget, div widget HTML, something like that. And inside there we can make any kind of unique stuff that we want. The problem with this one, thinking about this, is that it doesn't let you use any of like Sass features or any kind of cool templating or preprocessors, those kinds of things, very easily. So maybe we should load those CSS. And if you use more than one widget, it's going to have a lot of the same style sheets declared throughout the page. And of course, our system runs locally, but in the case of the design here, we don't really need to worry about speed all that much. It's like a local system, but it would be nice to have kind of clean CSS and clean design here. So let me think how best to do this. I guess we could just make little widget HTMLs that can all load. It'll load all the widgets CSS. That's an easy way to do it. Yeah, let's take a look into that. So I know this is one way to do it quickly, but it's not necessarily the cleanest. Let's find another compromise. In our styles SCSS, or should I say base, or no, style. Yeah. So here we do a lot of importing of our different pieces, and using the underscore kind of puts them all together. And maybe we can make our widgets section widgets, and then we can have whatever we want from here. We can have our HTML widget, and then we can make a new file. I'll just make this one here, and we'll call it HTML. Let's CSS. Oh, sorry, it's not his color. Yeah, HTML.css, and save, and here we are. Now we're in our normal blank style sheet, but what I'll do is I'll make this starter one, and it's going to be for all of them, so I don't think we can use an ID element here. We'll just use the class level, and the dot signifies class attribute, for those who are getting into this. Div, and we'll call it widget HTML. if I go and I do H1, for example, which is one of the something I have styled there, and I change its color to pink. The reason I picked pink, by the way, is it's really easy to find. I don't write pink everywhere. I might write red somewhere, but pink I've hardly ever used in an application. So when I'm building like test code and things like that, I like to use pink because I can always search and find it. And it's the shortest word I can do for an individual color that I want to kind of test things out with. So if I refresh now, it's not going to show anything, and it's because I haven't started my pre-compiler. So I will load up a new tab, clear this, and yeah, npm run sas. Oh, it's sas dev now, isn't it? Sas dev. Ooh. Okay, so I'll save this. Yeah. HTML, CSS, and style.css. So it saved it as a separate file. Is that what I want? No, I don't want it to do that. I want it. Hey, you know what? What if in the base CSS or base HTML template, what if I were to add, this was done by accident, because I usually use an underscore HTML and it automatically combines it into the style.css file. So you have a single HTML or single CSS document that you can pull from. But what if I did a quick loop over all the widgets and then found, based on their name, I went and loaded their CSS as well? Ooh, that'd be nice. Because then it would only load the widgets CSS of the ones that I want. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, let's do that. And that was totally by accident, by the way. This is great. So here's my base, and here's where I do my loop over the renders, or over the CSS, right? And yeah, I can just do widget name.css and load that up. Ooh, I love namespacing. It works so nice. So yeah, so here's some example CSS. I'm going to make sure that this one loads first and then load all the other ones. Just a moment. I'm going to mute and tell my son to, that I'm busy with this call. Just a moment. And we are back. Okay, so I'll put this over here again. Sorry about that. A little ASMR action, guys. I apologize for the sound, all the typing and everything. It's probably really loud, but I'm getting better at this. Let's give it some time. Okay. Right. Yeah, so here we are with the HTML widget. And I think I'll make a folder inside of CSS called /widget/HTML. Maybe I could do that. Let's try. HTML, CSS, new folder, widgets, and we'll put that one in here. And I'll move. And let's close this. Now let's take a look at the terminal. Did it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then I need to load up my CSS file, or save it again, I should say. Hey yo, it did it automatically. What magical world we live in. Now I'm going to jump into my CSS file. Yeah, HTML CSS. And yeah, okay, so now it's loaded that. I go back to my base and I want to load widgets /html.css. Let's see if it shows anything. I don't know. Might, I don't know. Hey, it exploded. Very nice. So it did compile it, but I think it's funny how it goes and throws its own errors in there for you. I've seen that with some of these SaaS plugins. Let's take a look at it. It looks like it's in the import. It's in, yeah. So maybe I do, yeah. Can I do this? Widgets. Can't remember if it works if I do that. No. Does that work? No. All right. Well, for now, I'll just do it like this. Yeah. Okay. So now it's loading, but it doesn't seem to show the CSS. Let's take a closer look at it. So it's got the ID, but it's not a class. It needs to be a class because I could use it more than once. IDs are only used once in a page, or they should only be used once in a page. Fun fact, IDs and classes have very different purposes, and IDs are faster than classes. The reason is that the computer only needs to look for, or the processor, the browser, whatever, that when looking for some style to apply to something, it only needs to look until it finds it, and then it drops out. So if it sees the ID, it finds it, drops out. If you use a class, it finds one, it's like, okay, there might be more, and it keeps looking. So if you need something to be kind of optimized, think about that in terms of what ID can be used for. Nowadays, I mean, computers are so fast, most people don't use ID hardly at all, which is unfortunate. I think it's a good feature of HTML and CSS. Okay, so let's continue. Yeah, so I need it to be class widget HTML. Base, no, it's in my HTML.html. This widget. Oh, I gotta adjust my screen here. Yeah, okay. I'll just do this. There. Now. Hey, oh, it's pink. That's good. So that means that the CSS is working there. But I'm not doing it dynamically. I've statically typed it here in the link section here of my page, my base HTML. So let's make it dynamic. Let's just build it off of this loop. So the same kind of loop. And I think we can do links out. No, we shouldn't do a link outside the head. I don't think that's a safe route to go. There we go. And those in the chat, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And we'll just go from there. Let's see. Yeah, so we don't need the save. We don't need the rendered. I think we need the name is what it was, if I remember right. Let's dig into that. So here in the personal display settings, we have the name of the widget that we're loading. So widget's name. And that's what we're going to build it off of. Widget's name. And So that's our string that we need to build. And we know that it's always going to be in the widgets folder, and it's always going to end with .css. And hopefully, yeah, isn't that cool? Okay, so now it's going to try to load it more than once. So if I have loaded, I need to do a check if I have loaded the CSS. Now I could do it in the controller or the view. I think I'll try to do it in the controller. It'll be cleaner code. But I want to make sure that I have a list of all of the CSS files that I want to load. Of course, I could just do this and it probably would work okay, but it would look a little dirty in the back. Let me actually show you why. So let me make a bunch of widgets here. So here they are, all tightly packed. And they are working fine, but if I look at the source code, you'll see that they start to repeat themselves. And that ain't good. Actually, look at that. Doing widget name with the, why is it doing that? Oh, what am I doing here? Yeah. Okay, that's funny. That's funny. Everyone avert your eyes. It's not a stupid coder mistake here, and I'll explain why here. URL for that, static, file name, da 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 da. Okay, so what happened was I had been running this, and I assumed just by glancing around that it was like one of these, that it was just a string, and I could easily put this templating in there. But the problem is that I'm already in one. So I removed those and concatenated it more like Python, or in this case Jinja, the Pythonic way, or most languages actually, so that it would concatenate that. So now when I refresh, okay, now it's even worse. Oh, it's because of the quotes. Okay. And now I'm doing different quotes. So I want single quotes here. And then it should change color maybe even. Yeah, you can see the plus changes. And now it's grabbing widget.name. So does this have a Jinja file type? I wonder. Oh, it's using my Hubble layout. Jinja. Whammo. Ooh, it looks terrible. HTML. Well, twig will get me close, but let's not do that. Oh, shoot. No, that's not what. Okay. Close that server. Let's just go to HTML. Okay, well, anyways, here we are with our code here, and we need to, there we go. Okay, hopefully that looks a little better. Yeah, okay. So now it looks a lot cleaner. It wasn't trying to escape some random code that it saw on the screen. So as you can see, here's my base style, which has my rendered style layout, which is great. But the HTML one, it does it as many times as I have widgets that are HTML, and technically I don't want it to do that. I want to make it so that the HTML is only loaded once. So what's an easy way to do that? I could do a quick check. I could render it as a set. Yeah, I think I remember Python sets are kind of cool for this. Python set. think I think it will allow only one item at a time into it. So I will just do a quick way of rendering these, and styles. I'll just do it like this. So there's my return, and oh goodness, wrong method altogether. Display settings. Yeah. Widget rendered. It's gonna just get the display settings as, yeah. So I'm gonna change it up a little. I can even keep it in the same loop. What up? So styles is equal to a set. I think I can do it like this. To declare it. I wonder how this works. I think I can do it like this. Set. And then I can go, let's see, styles, add, and add, get the length, set items, time, set constructor. Yeah, okay. Unordered, unchangeable. Oh, really? Dictionaries are ordered. No way. I didn't know that. Ordered, unchangeable. Remove and add new items. Yeah. Okay. So I can't remember what it is, but let me just guess at it. Widget dot widget name is the styles that I want, and that should give me a, when that's all done, we just print it and see what it shows in the console here. Okay, well, I didn't explode. Yeah, see? So no matter how many times I try to add the same name, it always keeps it singular, which is super nice. Otherwise, I have to do this like if this and that, blah, 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 check in the list, blah, 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 do this and that. I don't need to do that. I just use a set and it will do this. This is something I learned about 4 years ago, and it was after like coding in Python for like 8-9 years, and I still meet people, coders, some who I've coded with or seen code for many years, they still don't use sets, but I think it's a perfect opportunity. It's so simple to use, so let's give it a try. Okay, now I want to rebuild my constructor here, or my context here. I have more complex context, so let's just do the display settings should be actually the, so we want context is equal to a dictionary, and I'll do it this way since I did styles that way. I could do it something like this and do styles is equal to styles, and widgets is equal to display settings widgets, and make it look cleaner here, and then display style is equal to display settings. Holy cow, they did it for me, I think. Let's see. Display style dense, which I'm not using yet, but hey, you know, let's get there eventually. Okay, that was cool. Tab 9 did it for me. Tab 9 is a plugin I use that uses artificial intelligence to kind of guess at what I'm doing, and so I've been using that, and it kind of helps with some things like this. It's kind of cool. Okay, so now it's probably going to do nothing, like show nothing, or it's going to explode. And okay, now it just kind of works. Oh yeah, that's because of this. But once I put this in here, now it's not going to work. Now, okay. Well, okay. Well, if it thinks it's going to work, it's going to work. Let's take a look. So it should be context widgets. Ah, that's why, because I put widgets in there, and it doesn't care if it's display settings widgets. It's actually doing context widgets. So I actually saved myself some time and didn't even know it. That's funny. All right, now we can go and grab the styles, and we can look at this CSS again and see how it looks. So here's all these HTML styles that are reloading over and over, which we don't need, and we will now only do it once, make it nice and clean, and we can just go based on the styles for widget in styles, blah blah blah. Now it should only load it. Ooh, it crashed. Okay, see styles. Styles, it was a styles. Da, 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 da. Take a look here. Widget in C. Widget in C. Styles. Can I just? No. Does it not like? String object has no attribute name. Hold on a minute. I'm doing .name, aren't I? Yeah, here's my problem. Okay, so styles is just a collection of strings. It's not a dictionary lookup or object lookup. So I don't need like that. I could actually, just to be clear on it, widget name, and that gives me the quick list of those. You know what? I could do even better. What if I just grab the keys of can I convert a dictionary key set, dictionary keys, so a list, to a set, and it would remove the duplicates. Hey, you know what? Let's try that. I think that'd be fun. All right, let's open up a terminal, and let's make a quick key set pair test. Who equals, and then we'll make some quick dictionaries here. Oops. Oh, you telling me that this thing can't? Okay. I don't like this terminal. Do we have iPython? No. No, I'm just gonna use it. Okay. So let's say we have a quick dictionary. I'm gonna write one up here. There. And we got 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got some duplicates and some new ones, and one, and then this key 2, and 6, and 2 there. Okay, so now I have this okay, so does it not show that that's a new thing? Let me see. So 1 should be 1, 2. Oh, it's using the same pairs. Oh, yes. So can I take? No, that the set works, but it's a list of dictionaries. No, I'm not over about it. It's all right. Cancel everything I did. This works better. At least for now. I don't see a better way. Okay. I think we're good with that. So that loads our CSS automatically. And so then we have the widgets. We have their styles. We have their HTML. We have the base CSS, or base HTML, and the base CSS, or style CSS, which is separate, which is pretty darn cool, I would say. And now I think the next step would be to make sure that we have the personal display settings is as a template in our code. So what I'll do is I'll go here, and that's running. I need another one. I want to do applications. What do I want? Templates. Oh, it's this one, of course. Personal display settings, and template, and yeah. And the reason I do this is the personal display settings might have some personal information in it, so I'd rather people copy the template and then make their own, and it won't get stuck in version control. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do a git rm personal display settings.py. Yeah. Then it's removed from Um, yeah, that's okay. Actually, you know what? The better way would be personal display settings. Remove this one, and then git move personal display settings to personal display settings template. And that will force the person who sets up the environment to remake make a copy of the file and use it as personal display settings. Of course, it makes the installation a little tougher, but it basically makes it so that any coder who has some special settings, it doesn't interfere with other coders, and it doesn't share any private information online to GitHub. So, did it explode? What happened there? What happened? What the heck? What just happened here? That was weird. Okay, git status, git move personal display settings, personal display settings template. Oh, you know what? Maybe I need to turn this one off. There. Okay. Okay. So now personal display settings, it says a template. And it will crash my environment. Okay, maybe it don't. Why is it not crashing? It's funny. Yeah, I moved it. Yeah, okay. Let's take a look. Oh, it's because it's before the environment turns on. If I were to restart my server and those environment variables are missing, it's going to tell you. So, yeah, so that's exactly what it should do. So let's do what every person who sets up the environment is going to need to do. Python, copy personal display settings to personal display settings template to personal display settings. Now, it should boot up just fine. Yeah, okay. Okay, good. Now, I will commit this code. And what time are we at here? Yeah, I think we're good for today. And dashboard, personal display settings, SAS. It's going to get, if I do just SAS, it's going to get the widgets too, which is good. Don't need the map, and I don't need anything in static CSS, so I'm just going to do that. What? Git add dashboard. Git add personal display settings. Oh, that's why. Template apply. SAS. Not static, and templates. Okay. Oh, you know, it's taking the static content as well, not the SCSS files, which is wrong. I want it to not do that. Git rm static everything in there. Style, okay. Git rm css style css.map, and then git status. Okay. Why didn't it work? Git status. To try and change it isn't working there. Why didn't it? Ah, cached. I think I want to use cache just to keep the file. And oh, that's a new thing I learned today. Git rm static styles. I can take a file, static css style map I can remove it, but I can keep the file there with cached. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so what I want to do now is add to git ignore these values. So let me just highlight them so that they're not going to ever be saved in the saved in our environment online. It's a risk. And the static.css or the static CSSs are not needed. They're kind of overkill. In some cases people do it, but in my case I want people to run the SAS environment so they can compile it themselves, at least at this point. Maybe when we make deployed versions somewhere, deployable versions of this tool, then we'll do it. But for now, no. Yeah, git ignore. It's a hidden file, that's why the dot. And nano. And here we go. Down at the bottom, yeah, we've already got some stuff here. And I'll just copy paste those. Yes. Okay. And actually I'll do everything in static. Should not be tracked. Status. Okay. Yeah, now we git add, git ignore, git commit. More wonderful things. Made personal display settings. Something you need to copy and rename to avoid overlapping settings. Let's see. Ignored the static content. Made widgets have their own CSS files that will load only when needed. Kind of cool. And what else did we do? Changed the context of the dashboard function to show more kinds of content. Okay. There we are, guys. All right. Thank you very much for watching. That's about it for today. Hope you guys learned something. I did, especially that git rm when you're removing a file, you can keep the old file with the dash dash cached. It's a little time saver. I like that. I used to have to rename the file, so it's a cool upgrade from old Git versions. Maybe they've had it for a long time. I just didn't notice. Yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and thanks for Ulvova Mülleri for swinging your arms and saying hi. That's cool. Again, if you want to participate and add something to this, feel free. I'd love to see some people's code and kind of look over it and talk about it and maybe make some improvements on it or learn a lot from them. So yeah, hop on board, join the GitHub channel, and we'll have some fun, or GitHub, and we'll have some fun with the code with DisplayDat. Thanks. Bye bye.